Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Z. My name is Zamil Solanki, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here on another episode with you all this morning. And if you haven't gotten your tea, your coffee, your whatever, your bowl of cereal, whatever you're having, if you're watching this at night as a replay, or if you're on the other side of the world and it's dinner time there, whatever it might be at the moment, go and grab it because we're going to jump into our topic shortly. But if you haven't checked out the other episodes during the week, make sure you go and check them out as well because this week is Dementia Action Week, and really, I guess you've noticed that I'll probably keep touching on this because I was joined by the lovely Brianna earlier in the week, who shared her story, who had the courage to really, I guess, dig deep and share her story and really step into a place of vulnerability. And I really want to highlight that, the power in that. Because at the end of the day, what I've really come to realize is that the more and more that we do our episodes on Tea with Z, the more I realize that the stories is what creates the connection. The stories are what creates the connection. And when you're engaging and interacting, whether or not in the comment section below, or reaching out to me via DM and sharing your stories with me, that really helps to create meaning to this content. And what I really want you to do from this content is take away and reflect on your own stories and your own experiences that can relate to this content as well. Because what I'm going to do more and more often now is actually really start to engage with you on a really different level in terms of really trying to share some personal experiences as well, starting to really start to deep dive into, I guess, more and more stories to help make this content a little bit more relatable. And definitely, if you're loving that sort of idea, give me some feedback, give me some likes, give me some hearts, comment in the comment section below. And let me know what you start to think about, I guess that way to help you to start to really connect with this content on a different level. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're about. You look at the ancient civilizations of the human race, and we all passed on information through storytelling. You look at the drawings on the wall, within the caves, uh, the graphical representations of stories, and that's how we've passed on information throughout our entire being, and that's how we still pass on information in today. So that's going to be, I guess, the slight little change in format, coming on, I guess, the ability to really share and connect with each and every one of you. And that's what Tea with Z is all about. And if you yourself have a story to share, if you yourself really connect with some content or something that's happening, feel free to reach out because that's what, I guess, it's all about. You've got my details. And one way to reach out as well, and a little quick mention here before we kick into today's topic, is the Limitless Network, because the Limitless Network helps you connect with a group of like-minded health entrepreneurs and people that value health. You do not, and I'm going to just jump back to my screen here, you do not have to be a business owner to join this network. You don't have to be a business owner to join this network. So definitely feel free to come in, share your experiences in a really, really safe space. And that's what the Limitless Network is all about. So today's topic, did you know it's World Car Free Day? World Car Free Day. What a interesting day. And it's amazing how many different topics they can be from different days and things that we, I guess, promote or peak bodies promote. So this is another UN endorsed and celebrated day to really encourage us to really reflect on the need for, I guess, our transportation modes when we're making shorter trips. Now, I appreciate in some parts of the world right now, particularly in Australia, we're seeing unprecedented amounts of travel restriction and lockdown. And my heart definitely goes out to you, but at the end of the day, the use of a car, I shouldn't, mean that you can't limit your mobility. Shouldn't be limiting your mobility. And so it's really important that we take advantage of, I guess, the different forms of transportation that we have. And, I guess the best form that we were given with for most of us, blessed, is the ability to walk, and for those that unfortunately don't have that ability, your other forms of transport or movement or whatever that might look like to you, or engagement, definitely makes us really, I guess, also appreciate what we have in terms of our own capabilities and capacities to move around. Now, when we look at the, World Car Free Day, and that's not, I guess the overall topic, it's the inspiration for this topic today. But what I really wanted to chat about today was the ability for us to recognize that there are opportunities within ourselves and within our environments to ensure that we are making healthier choices, that we are stimulating our active body. And I know for me personally, when I, use the car, and we're very blessed where we live at the moment, we don't need to use the car. And what we're starting to see is we're starting to see this emerging trend of what's called this 20-minute city. And this emerging trend of this 20-minute city, and just think about, wherever you might live right now, you're seeing cafes pop up in these different areas of suburbia. You're seeing different demographics moving. You're seeing different industry and retail businesses starting to pop up, which traditionally would have been predominantly in a CBD area. We're starting to see this evolution towards what's called a 20-minute city. And it means that within 20 minutes walking, you can access all of the essential services you need. All of the essential services you need. You have access to healthcare, you have access to food, you have access to environment. And so when you look at those three essential areas and three essential things, how are you now going to be utilizing your vehicle in the future, or those forms of transport? And how can you start to really look and adapt to not just looking at car-free modalities now, but other forms of transportation that encourage a healthier you, Because we've been sedentary for so long. We've been sitting behind a screen. We've been sitting in isolation, in lockdown. We've been sitting in areas of confinement, areas of restricted socialization. And so now when all of that goes back to a new normal, utilizing body to engage in our environment, to ensure that we have access to those three critical things: healthcare, food, and the environment, and earthing. That's what I mean by that. It's literally getting outside. When we have access to those three things, I really want you to take a step back and go, well, how am I going to interact with them? Could I choose a bike ride over my car? Could I choose a walk over my car? Could I choose an e-bike even? You look at the amazing infrastructure that a lot of our major cities and are starting to implement now, is encouraging these alternate forms of transportation. And what that really gives us the presence for as well is it gives us a newfound appreciation of what we have the ability to do. Because at the end of the day, think about the time when you last jumped in a car and really appreciated your surroundings. You're driving along, and I know for me, Tash is in the car and we're driving along, and Tash is like, oh, look at that at the window. And I'm like, oh man, I can't. My eyes have got to stay on the road, or I'm wanting to really take in the environment and experience the environment around us. Well, you can't do that if you're behind the wheel. But if you're going in and going out, out of your car and utilizing these other forms of transportations, it really becomes apparent as to the, I guess, what we can absorb if we're looking for it, if we just take the time to observe. And I know now, despite the most heaviest restrictions of lockdowns, whatever you may be in the world, take the time to even step out in your driveway and just look around. Just look around and see what the wonders are. Look around and just see, you might notice, oh, man, I didn't realize my neighbor's letterbox was bright red. I've walked past that. I've driven past that 50 times. I didn't notice that they had that tree in the garden. I didn't even notice I had that tree in my backyard. Whatever that might look like to you, taking the time not only, and yes, today is World Car Free Day, but what I want you to do is really not look at the sense of Car Free Day, but I want you to look at it as the opportunity to explore your environment in a different way. That's the aim of today, is to explore the opportunity to look and engage in your environment in a different way, in a unique way, through a different lens. Not just about getting the health benefits, but really about appreciating the environment in which we live. Appreciating those things that when we're behind the wheel, we're so focused, and we're so determined to get quickly to our destination. But by taking the time to step back and really look around and appreciate and invest in ourselves, invest in our own health, invest in the ability for ourselves to really absorb the amazing world in which we live in, despite all of our challenges. That is the opportunity that lies in days such as today. And I know for me, for one, when we've stopped using the car recently, and when we've gone for a walk, just even a walk around our block, I'm sitting with Tash and I'm like, man, I've never noticed that house before being that color. And look at the contrast between these two houses, and look how, the amazing architecture of these houses. Look at this amazing tree, and you might find that is a little bit left field, a little bit woo-woo. But at the end of the day, what it's done is it's given us a sense of appreciation for the environment in which we live in. It's given us the ability to reconnect and even just engage with one another on a different way as well. Because at the end of the day, we're having meaningful conversations during this time as well. And so it's not just about car-free day. It's about the opportunities that lie with engaging in your environment. That's what I mean by that as well. Environment is not only just nature, but it's also nurture, it's socialization. So health, food, environment are three essential needs within 20 minutes of us. But now, moving forward in this evolving trend, how are you going to seize the opportunities that lie within that? So that's my question for you today. And I hope that relatedness with a little bit of storytelling also helped to share some, give you some context as to what, we do and how we embrace, using less of our vehicles and embracing more of the opportunities to use, walking or other modalities around us. So if you want to share your story, jump into the Limitless Network. That's what it's all about, And if you're happy to share publicly as well, then that's what it's about as well. But this is a safe space for like-minded people that value health. That's what I'm asking you to do today. And it's nothing to join. It's just simply a safe space to have a chat. And that's what it's all about. So how are you going to embrace the opportunities around you? That's the question for you today. But once again, I leave you really, really pumped and energized for another day. And I really thank you for joining me on another episode of Tea with Z. Like always, it's absolutely awesome to be joining you each and every weekday morning. But if you haven't joined the Limitless Network yet, just remember as well that we have an exclusive episode of Tea with Z on Fridays in the Limitless Network, where we deep dive into a topic each and every week. So that's it from me today. Have an amazing day. Take care. Stay safe. And wherever you are in the world, just remember there's always opportunities in everything. There's always opportunities despite whatever circumstances you might be in. So that's it from me today. Have an awesome day. And I look forward to catching up with you on another episode of Tea with Z tomorrow. Bye for now.